What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
Episode number 70. We are at our 70th episode. We're geriatric. in terms of our show, we're geriatric.
We are withdrawing from our 401k as we speak, my guys.
We are. We're starting to pull that Social Security out right now. Yeah. Hope you guys are doing well. In our 70th episode, we are talking all things CinemaCon, the very first footage shown of Halloween Ends, which we are very tickled and excited for. The next 10 years of Marvel Studios, because Kevin Feige has like my entire lifetime planned out in Marvel movies. Avatar: The Way of Water, the Batman 2, a whole bunch of DC reveals. We are talking the works in this episode. Whole lots to talk about because CinemaCon was a very big deal. If you are unaware of what CinemaCon is, it's basically, I guess, would you call it a convention? Yeah, it's a convention for insiders and for different outlets to let studios basically show off their slates for the next upcoming year
it's pretty much it's pretty much just studios show us your dick and just show us your dick and see what you got.
Or again, unless you're Kevin Feige, it's like, Disney's showcase, like Disney showed off like 2022 and 23, or Kevin Feige's like, yeah, we're getting ready to do the next decade or so. It's nothing big. We're just
they really had that decade.
Yeah, they do. So happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, April 28th, 2022. Summer is right around the corner.
Summer is upon us, guys. Aren't we all excited?
Literally around the bend. Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm usually not. Listen, I'm usually like a fall winter guy because I like the fall months. It's like my favorite time of year. I am hyped for some hot ass weather this year. I really am. I'm ready for it. So, Miguel, buddy, how you doing?
About a month, Thursday, guys, and then he'll fucking hate it.
I know.
Give him his give him his 6 like swamp ass situation, and then he'll beg for the fall.
Well, listen, I am excited for the hot weather, but if you hear me hacking like I'm a 70-year-old who smoked since they were 12, it's because of my allergies. It's time. So
that's
Miguel,
fine. Listen to me.
As I pour a Miller High Life, how you doing?
I guess from that comment, I guess we're living the high life. Yeah, we just vibing right now.
We are just vibing. This is a good beer. I went to the liquor store yesterday and I was like, I was on my way home from work and I was like, I just want to drink a beer. I don't want anything crazy or strong. Bro. I just want a good beer. Like I just want a good sipping beer. I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV and have a beer. Just one beer. That's all I want.
For those of you that don't know,
cheers.
This week is the Derby.
Is it next week?
Yeah, it's next week. Sorry. I thought it was next week. I work at the airport, so we're prepping. But Keeneland happened like, a week or so ago.
Yeah, Keeneland's hot right now.
That comes to the Derby. So good old Lexington Breweries, Country Boy started like this line of beers called Keeneland. It's like a Keeneland-ish kind of thing. We have got to try it. We have to find it.
Well, we haven't had a beer review in a while.
I just don't have time to go down there and like find it and pick it up. I don't know where I could find it. Probably at like a fucking Liquor World or something like that.
Is it canned though, or is it just like if you go to Country Boy?
No, it's canned. Like a lot of people were drinking them at Keeneland. So
listen,
in many places.
If you can find
it, I think I saw it on social media. So
that's pretty dope. Yeah, we definitely need to do that.
Yeah, I would love to try that shit because. Even though I'm like, brown, but your boy can vibe with some Keeneland stuff.
What does that have to do with anything?
Bro, I swear to God,
so you can't like horse beer?
Find a Mexican find a Latino that's in Keeneland, wasting like thousands of dollars on a horse.
Wasting thousands of dollars. Listen, I was like, and I feel fortunate to have gotten to see it. But I've gone. The only time I ever went to Keeneland, I went once. I went and we did. I don't actually know. I think
we went
alcohol.
Once.
I don't think I gambled at all. I've fortunately Miguel and I have both been to Churchill Downs a couple of times. Like for a completely different reason. But it's cool to say like you've seen the Derby in person. We were working there, yes. But that's besides the point. But some of the money people gamble on horses, it's astronomical how much money some of these people drop on horses. It's
bro,
ridiculous.
the amount of money that is spent in this month alone is tremendous.
Especially in
for
Kentucky.
Fuck's sakes, yeah.
Yeah, it's good for Kentucky. I mean, it's good tourism. It's good, I mean, there's a lot of different people that are coming here. I don't know. I feel like Kentucky is always like kind of tramped on. You know what I mean? Like people always think like, oh, Kentucky, like dirt floors, no electricity, go to the outhouse, like you know what I mean? And that's not how Kentucky is. Like all the clips, all the clips in our opening credits, like that's Kentucky. Like that's how Kentucky is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I could say that. But no, look, literally everyone makes fun of Kentucky for like the entire year, except for like these next couple of weeks where everyone's like Kingland, and Churchill Downs or the Derby or blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then after that, everyone doesn't give a shit.
Well, don't get me wrong. There are some hick places in Kentucky. There really are. Like if you go like far eastern Kentucky, like Appalachia area, or far western Kentucky, or like there's areas where you're, it's. I'm not saying dirt floors. That's not what I mean. But like it's country. It's out there. But it's the same thing. I feel like there's country everywhere. Like again, like I'm from Florida, and Florida has arguably some more redneck places than Kentucky does. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's everywhere. I don't know. Even going through Alabama and Louisiana and like anywhere in the South, which Kentucky's not. I guess Kentucky's kind of like that nice middle ground,
We are like the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. We are smack dead in the middle. And there's, we're not above, we're not below. We're just right there.
By the way, I don't know why this just popped in my head, and we are going to talk CinemaCon. I promise.
Sorry, guys.
I saw. Did you all see Tornado Alley is like moved? Like it's like, thanks climate change, but like it's literally like shifted, and now it's like more like it's not as much Louisiana, and it's more like Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, like all of those places. Like it's shifted like a little bit to the right. It's kind of done like a little like whoop.
Bro, no, I think it's getting bigger. I don't think it's moving. I think it's just like getting bigger because like the amount of tornadoes that's happening over there.
That's not what we want to hear.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, you know what? We can handle some tornadoes further down south. I don't fucking know because you guys are built on like I don't know clay. So yeah, good luck on your foundations, my guy. I'll be praying for you. Are we too?
Yeah, Kentucky is built on red clay.
Are we serious? Don't lie to me.
Limestone and red clay, bro.
Okay, well, you know what? At least we make good whiskey because of our limestone, but we can't have a sustainable house because of clay. So I mean, it's give or take. So we got to do what we got to do.
What are you gonna do? Before I forget to mention it, be sure to join us this Saturday for episode number 12 of Purely and Simply Evil, which is our horror show. We are going to be taking a deep dive into A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. We're going to take a deep dive into it, and we're going to talk about it in all its glory. That's going to be a really fun discussion, especially because I think Miguel and I are going to have very differing. Now, our commentary is out now, so you can kind of get our like beat by beat thoughts on it. But kind of, it's going to be fun to tear this one apart and like really dive into it. Just dive into the sheets together.
Yeah, because I fucking hate it, guys. Simple as that.
I love Freddy's Revenge. Miguel's not a fan, so please join us Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We are going to take a deep dive into Freddy's Revenge. So let's do this thing. Let's talk CinemaCon, man. And I know a lot of people watching this. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right to the elephant in the room, which is Halloween Ends. The very first footage of Halloween Ends was shown. You hear my voice. Of Halloween Ends.
Oh God!
Oh yeah. The first footage of Halloween Ends was shown at CinemaCon, and comicbook.com always does really, really good recaps of some of the stuff that's shown. That's why I wanted to hop on this one first. So Halloween Ends footage reveals first look at the end of the horror franchise. Universal Pictures wrapped things up at CinemaCon this year, and in keeping with that theme, offered a first look at Halloween Ends, the next film in the series, and the conclusion of the story that started with 2018's revival of the slasher franchise. Star Jamie Lee Curtis was on hand to talk up the movie and introduce the footage, telling attendees, "It's going to F you up."
It's gonna fuck you up.
Which, listen, to be fair, like, and I know I've seen a lot of people talking about this, like, Jamie Lee Curtis has really talked up these David Gordon Green films, which is her job to, you know what I mean? But she's very much like Dave McRae posted a really good 2018, she was like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever, and she called she called Halloween Kills a masterpiece. And she's saying the same thing. She's going to F you up. It's going to be like mentally damaging, and it's going to hurt your soul. And you know what I mean? Just not that she said it's going to hurt your soul, but all of these things, like, which, I mean, who knows? It could be sensational, you never know. And
sensational.
I'm really, the more and more that we hear about Halloween Ends, or actually the more and more we don't hear about Halloween Ends, even, Malika Akkad saying it's more contained, and David Gordon Green saying that it's more of a coming of age film, and it's more of a
coming of age film, bro. This ain't the fucking Breakfast Club. What the fuck?
No, but I think it's coming of age in terms of like there's a lot changing. Like, Allison's gonna have to figure out life without her parents. Laurie is gonna have to figure out life knowing that everything that she has literally spent her entire life like working towards, like trying to be a survivalist, and all the traps and the guns and training her kids and training herself, all for Michael to come back. Like, every bit of that, Hawkins telling her in the hospital in Halloween Kills, like, it's not about you, it was never about you. Like, he doesn't,
it's all
like,
a lie.
Like, oh god, he was never, if Sartain wouldn't have brought him to her house,
if
he would never have
just the
found her.
Yeah, right? This movie would never happen.
Listen, if you really want to think about it, Sartain is pretty much the entire reason that this trilogy exists, is because he would have just been transferred. It would have been fine, but Sartain
shout out to Sartain.
So you realize we've never really gotten the full answer. I mean, you could take it as Michael broke free and Michael did something to wreck the bus, but we've still never really gotten an answer as to why the bus crashed in Halloween 2018.
Bro, it was Dr. Saltine. I mean,
it was Dr. Saltine Cracker. I mean, you could look at it a few different ways. Like, you could look at it as I don't know. You could look at it as Michael did it. He saw his opportunity and he was like, hey, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? He's never going to pass up a free fried chicken. And then you also, I don't know. You could also look at it as Sartain somehow sabotaged what happened, knowing that Michael was going to be like, well, sweet. Could you imagine Sartain stands up and like shoots the driver or something, and Michael's sitting there handcuffed, and he's just like,
doesn't Sardine get shot in the bus?
He does get shot. Well, on accident. He gets shot by the kid. The
exactly.
Kid who,
he was probably thinking like, I'm gonna free Michael and I'm gonna send him to Laurie. The plan's gonna go all well out, and then an 11-year-old fucking dancer just guns him down. Like, can you imagine how this didn't go well? Like, can you imagine how you felt after that?
He was stupid though, because he didn't be like, hey, there's a person here. Wait a minute, don't shoot. I'm okay. I'm not, I didn't do anything. But instead he goes, don't shoot. Like, bro, you just this kid is already scared. There's dead people laying all over the place, and like mental patients that are like talking to themselves and being weird and like he's scared, you know what I mean? And you're like, boogity boogity boo. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that?
Nevertheless, it's like an 11-year-old kid with a gun. It's like that movie from like John Travolta, like Paris from Love. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Yeah. He said something along the lines of, let me give you some advice I learned in like fucking in Kenya. If a 6-year-old kid with a fucking gun points it at your head, you do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Right.
So there you go. Just don't question anything.
Yeah. Movie reviews. What's going on, man? He says, hey guys, I'm sorry I missed your 2 live streams. No worries at all. You're here right now, man. That's all we care about.
That's all I care about.
So kind of go, what I was going to say is like the other thing that I always kind of thought was interesting, and I don't think this is the case because I feel like we would have known by now. I really thought for a while that they were going to reveal, because of course we get like Laurie's watching them like escort him into the bus. You know what I mean? And she's sitting there like she's got the bottle of vodka and the gun, and like, she's sobbing and all that stuff. Like, I really thought there was at one point that they were going to make it like Laurie made the bus crash. Like, she wanted him to escape.
No, I think she was just drinking in her car because like her like Activia stocks, like they kind of plummeted. They went down like probably like 30 extra shares. So I mean, it could be that too, or
that's funny,
or it could just be Michael. I mean, either one. It's a coin toss at this point, guys.
It is. That's fair. But going back to CinemaCon, Jamie Lee Curtis says it's gonna be bonkers. Cam Bonavolo. Sorry if I got your name wrong, buddy. Bonavolo. That's fun. Bonamolo. I like it. Was on hand for the event.
Bonamolo. Bonamolo. Don't try to throw your fucking accent in there, dude.
Was on hand for the event and saw the first footage from the David Gordon Green directed follow-up. Though the trailer is mostly made up of footage from the other films, there is one major scene that's new. So the new footage begins 44 years ago. The face of fear was born. I can't read it in the voice. I can't do it. Classic footage from John Carpenter's Halloween. A murder montage showing the victims of Michael Myers on Halloween night 1978 and 2018.
Bro, that's going to be like a 40-minute reel right there.
I know, right? I know.
That's a lot of fucking people, dog.
Every scream, every scare, every slash has led to this. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Every scream, every scare, every slash has led. And you know it's going to be in that movie trailer voice, right? Where it's going to be like, every scream, every scare.
No, that shit ended in like 2008.
I know, right?
Dude.
Yeah, that was that early 2000s. Like everything had to be like dramatic, even it was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like
even
whatever happened to that guy? Whatever happened to the inner world? There's some bullshit like that. Like where did that go?
And then in new footage, Laurie breathes heavily as she hides in a dark closet. Michael Myers stalks with a knife.
Keep that same attitude at the end of Halloween Kills, dog. You had a knife and you were, I'm coming for you, Michael.
Right.
Two scenes later, she's hiding in a closet, reminiscing of 1978. Get over yourself.
In new footage, Laurie breathes. Oh, we already read that. Michael Myers stalks in a kitchen with a knife. Laurie lunges at Michael and slashes at him. It's a brutal fight. Michael grabs Laurie's hair and slams her face first into a glass cabinet. Woo! I like it. Laurie grips her knife and stabs it into Michael's hand. Boy, let me tell you something. Laurie Strode really has something against his hands. She already shot 2 of his fingers off.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to kill without any deados. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, fuck.
She really is going for the hands a lot, though.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, what good is he without it? He's not gonna bite you because he ain't got a mask. Or he's got a mask on.
She stabs his hand and he's like, like, are you serious?
I can imagine.
You're about to take my other hand.
Like using his hands cut off, but he uses like the bones to sharpen it. And now all of a sudden he has like,
it's gonna be like
weird, but okay.
It's gonna be like in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre when he breaks the dude's hand and then stabs the other dude in the throat.
Oh my god!
With like his like severed arm. Ugh, gross.
Ugh.
Grody. Michael grabs Laurie's hair and slams her face first into a glass cabinet. Laurie grips her knife and stabs it into his hand. The trailer ends. This is the part I thought was interesting. The trailer ends with Michael on the table. Laurie stands over her prey with a butcher knife, and then you get the title drop. Halloween ends.
It's a dream. I'm calling it right the fuck now.
No, it's not.
It's a dream. I 100% believe. Remember what they said. Remember what they said, bitch. This shit they talked about. They said they're talking about trauma and memories and dealing with your past. Like, yeah, this shit's gonna be a dream.
I actually have thought about that. Like,
100%.
It's the same thing as like how a lot of people are like when The Walking Dead ends. Listen, it's all gonna be a dream. Rick is gonna open his eyes in the hospital.
Now that's a bullshit.
And Laurie and Shane and Carl, they're all gonna be sitting there. And I was like, bro, no.
No, I'm not saying like Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills was all a dream. I'm just saying like that moment in particular. Okay. That's Laurie like imagining what could have happened if she actually was able to kill Michael. I saw somebody. So I'm gonna be pissed if that's the case.
I saw somebody a while ago, and I think maybe Mike and Jay talked about this and we watched a movie at some point, but this was on Twitter. Like it was a whole thread where people were talking about this on Twitter, and somebody was like, what if there was a way that they were trying to like piece the whole franchise together out, like outside of Rob Zombie's movies, like if you were going to try to make everything before it canon, which of course it's not. Nothing is canon in this new trilogy except for the original film. what if they did like how pissed would you be if like we get it and it's this whole amazing, like Halloween Ends is incredible and it gets to the end and
Man in
it
Black.
really was, oh God, please no. The it's like the authors, oh God, please no. But what if it like happened, Laurie, like it really was a dream, like all of this trilogy was a dream, and Laurie wakes up in the hospital in Halloween Resurrection as she sees Michael out the window.
Oh, fuck you.
After like after everything, you know what I mean?
Oh, fuck you.
Like
And
she's imagined.
and
like,
what
this
is that?
whole...
What is that gonna do? Is Laurie just gonna go up and give him a big fat kiss at the end?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Are
So
you
no,
afraid
that's
to die, Michael?
yeah, that's bullshit.
That scene kills me because it's like you could have just cut him down and like ended it, and instead it's like you said, it's like the stereotypical 90s, like you like the villain has to give like an entire, or like somebody has to give like a huge monologue before something big happens. It's just like get to the thing, you know what I mean? And she's like, "Are you afraid of me?" It's like, bro, no, he's cut him down, kill him.
Yeah,
but
like clearly,
you
clearly
literally
not,
have
'cause
what
he
you
was,
want, like right in
just
front of
trying
you.
to kill you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
shit. I don't understand that logic other than just to perpetuate the fucking story.
I know, right?
Yeah. So
So regarding the film and it being her last time playing Laurie Strode, Curtis called it the ride of my life, adding, "I had no idea when I was cowering in the closet 45 years ago that this character would become the most important relationship of my entire career and professional life. And I'm grateful because Laurie Strode is the OG final girl. She's the one that term was apparently created for. The one that won't be stopped, won't be killed, will face the monsters when others run. And over the years, that has taken on obviously new dimensions." She continued with some thoughts on the horror genre as a whole, noting it lets us confront something we can't control. It allows us to scream and fight, and sometimes we're in a world that doesn't always allow these cathartic opportunities, and horror films are fun to see in a big crowd because horror matters. But sadly, all things must come to an end. So, there is Jamie Lee Curtis on Halloween Ends.
whatever it takes.
Whatever, whatever it takes. Could you imagine if, like everybody, it's like an endgame moment. Like it's this big battle, and like Laurie's dying, and she's been stabbed, and she's hurt, and she stands up, and it's like Cap standing in front of Thanos, like when they're like across the Avengers compound. And it's like this big moment, and like portals start to open, and it's like Busta Rhymes, Loomis, Brackett, it's Meeker, it's like everybody from the entire thing, and it's like this whole that would be awesome. Somebody needs to deep fake that.
Deep fake that? Yeah, I could totally see that.
That would be awesome. Like deep fake it.
And
It's
then
funny.
and then the Avengers Assemble is not whatever the fuck Brackett did, but it's what Busta Rhymes did, where he was like, "Trick or treat, motherfucker."
You wouldn't. So you would rather have trick or treat than everyone's entitled to one good scare.
No, that shit was stupid. I want trick or treat, motherfucker.
If it's Laurie though,
Yeah.
would Laurie say it though?
Yeah.
Oh man,
And Busta
that's
Rhymes
awesome.
is just screaming like Thor, and he just runs after him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
So to kind of continue on the Halloween Ends talk real quick, Bloody Disgusting ran a different article, and it's like I said, comicbook.com does a really great job, like, you know, kind of beat by beat and describing the footage itself. But Bloody Disgusting, first Halloween Ends footage shown at CinemaCon, reactions hit social media. So this is kind of some of the different social media, you know, kind of the reactions on social media of attendees of CinemaCon. The very first look at David Gordon Green's Halloween Ends was shown off. We already know that. We just read that. In the meantime, we do have some social media reactions from those in attendance at CinemaCon tonight. We also have some new comments from star Jamie Lee Curtis on the CinemaCon stage tonight. The horror icon promised that Halloween Ends is Laurie Strode's last stand. Now, what do you think of that? Of this idea, like, yes, it will be like the last stand. By the way, Art Wishwood, what's going on, man? Yes, Halloween Ends. Can't wait to see the trailer this summer. Me either, dude. Super, super, super hyped. It's definitely it's scratching the itch talking about it. So So I mean,
Where's that itch, dog? Is it like the back of your ear, like a dog?
Yeah, my foot comes up. So what do you think this should be the last stand? Like, is this it? Like, there's no more, you don't get the eyes opening moment, you don't get breathing at the end. Like, this is it. This is the Avengers Endgame moment, you know?
I thought she was talking about her story, like Laurie Strode's.
I think she is talking about her story, but they said
Okay,
it's
yeah,
Laurie
because the
Strode's
bitch
like
is
final
old. Like,
stand.
is she at like like Michael can live on
Michael is
in a
old, bro.
reboot. Yeah,
What are you
yeah,
talking
in a
about? He's
reboot. Yeah,
older than her.
Michael can live on as long as he fucking wants.
Okay, in a reboot, yeah, but this version of Michael, bro, he's already gonna be like 65 in this movie. Like,
And
he's like 65 or 66 in this timeline right
bro,
now.
it's the trilogy. It's the third installment. It's not gonna be good.
I don't what? You don't
It's
think it's gonna
not.
be good?
It's not gonna end the way you think.
Listen, apparently that's the thing though. Like even Nick Castle has teased that like this is a very different movie than people are expecting it to be. Like,
Yeah.
I think people who are walking into this from Halloween Kills being like, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Like, honestly, there's a lot of
There's gonna be so many people like in the reviews and be like, bro, there's no actions in this shit. There's very little
right?
blood and gore.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, they've been telling you this for like a fucking year. Like, get over yourself.
Well, and it's the same thing with Halloween Kills. It'll be all the same people that were like, Halloween Kills had no plot. It was literally just killing people the entire time. It's like, bro, like,
All right,
you
fine.
gotta,
Okay,
you
fine.
gotta
We'll give you a plot. Bro, there's 0 kills over here. It was all just talk. I was like, bro, I swear to God, you got to get yourself, I swear, if I hear someone say some silly ass shit like that, I'm gonna stick my foot up so far up their ass, the doctors are gonna think it's out of pleasure instead of an accident.
I used to like when we first saw it, like I've purposely waited to watch it again, and in the next couple weeks I'm probably gonna watch Halloween Kills again. I haven't watched it since October. I've seen it 3 times, and I watched it. We saw it opening weekend, and then I watched it the week after. I think we both watched it again the week after, didn't we?
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times already.
And then I watched it again, like maybe in November or December, somewhere in there. Damn, and I purposely
what a holiday movie right there. I know, son.
Right? I purposely
Die Hard,
Die Hard, Halloween Kills, Christmas Vacation, Elf. It's all the given,
the major hits.
But I purposely haven't watched it again just because I wanted to let it marinate a little while, and I wanted to. I think Halloween Kills is going to be a movie that people appreciate more and more over time. You know what I mean? Because it is everything they said it was going to be. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, when you have a title like Halloween Kills, like, I mean, come on, and listen, the Michael stuff was great. Like, seeing Michael just get to be Michael and like play around in his wheelhouse, like,
bro, literally, they gave him a playground.
They really did.
They pretty much like sat down like a 6-year-old Michael. Just imagine a 6-year-old Michael, and they threw him in a playhouse, and they said, "Have at it." That's literally what the situation was. And
I actually have I haven't even talked to you about this. I actually have a video plan. Like, the one thing that still bothers me about Halloween Kills is the mob thing, and not necessarily the Tivoli moment.
Yeah, the mob stuff.
I think the mob storyline was one of the things I was most excited for, and I think it's the thing that disappointed me the most. Just because I felt like they could have done a better job showcasing the mob and kind of, and I always, like you said, honestly, Miguel, you said like one of the most profound things I've heard about the mob thing. It's like, and even before
things profound.
I know, right?
Just ask my HR.
The movie, like, when we were talking about it before it even came out, like in August, September, leading up to it after the trailer dropped, like, you had said, like, the idea that this mob is, all over the place, and then suddenly they come together. Like, even if they would have done, like, after Tivoli dies, maybe that's the thing that's like, okay, we can't just keep going, flying by the seat of our pants. Like, we have to be organized. Like, Tommy could have been that person. And you had said on an episode, like, the thing that makes the mob scary is that you have an organized group of people with weapons and they're armed and they're going out trying to fight evil, and evil is still winning. You know what I mean? That's what could have been scary about the mob. But it was just, I felt like the mob thing was just kind of wasted, you know? But other than that, I think Halloween Kills was really good. Like it worked, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I do want to do a separate episode or a separate video or something about that. But I do think Halloween Kills will be more appreciated over time. I do.
If there's a bullshit mob, if they try to do another mob, I'm walking out.
I don't think they're going to do a mob. I don't think so. J-Dead's in the house. He said, oh, shit, boys. We got a new Halloween. We got new Halloween Ends news. I know, right? Super excited, man. Art says, I can't wait till they show the latest trilogy on AMC Fear Fest, but 2018 usually shows on FX, which is an equally great channel. True. Definitely.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure they're going to like hammer the fuck out of Halloween on FX. That's usually what they do. Like every 6 months, there's like 3 or 4 movies that they hammer every single night or Friday. Like yeah, and it's like, dog, that's why I don't watch some of these.
Do you remember there was a period of time they were doing all the old Marvel movies, like Ghost Rider and Tim Story, Fantastic Four films.
They were. I think
Spider-Man's like it was. Oh, it was FX too. On FX, they were doing a lot of the old Marvel movies for a while. You know, but I don't know. It's interesting. But going back to the article, so again, this is some social media reactions. So the official CinemaCon, Miguel, give us your best Jamie Lee Curtis.
Trust me, it's gonna fuck you up,
bro. That was again going back to the Kentucky thing. That was down home Kentucky. Trust me, folks. I've drank moonshine since I was 24.
Were you doing Jamie Lee Curtis right there?
No, I was not.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never mind. Rebecca Rubin, Jamie Lee Curtis jokingly shaded the audience at CinemaCon because they didn't give her a standing ovation. Oh man! In Halloween Ends, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers meet.
Jamie Lee Curtis is just like Robert Downey Jr. with like the fans. You know what I mean? Like she's got such like a presence. It's like, you didn't do this yet. I'm like, clap for me now. You know what I mean? Like
you walk out, clap for me.
Yeah, it's like Jamie has like this like swab, like she knows that she's like Laurie. Robert Downey Jr. knows that he's Tony Stark. Like they have this like weird like presence with the fans where it's like, I know I'm awesome, so clap for me. Like that's all.
Have you like Robert Downey Jr. actually does like the tip at like the Tony Stark like he does the Tony Stark pose like from the beginning of the MCU. Like he does that like when he walks out on stage and stuff. It's awesome. She also adds the trailer is legitimately terrifying. That's what I hope to see, man. That's what we like. We love to see it. Scott Menzel says the trailer for Halloween Ends serves as a tribute to the legacy of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Fans of this franchise look like they are in for a real treat as this franchise comes to an end. The trailer looked awesome. Stephen Weintraub. First trailer for Halloween Ends uses footage from all the films to tie everything together and ends with Jamie Lee Curtis fighting Michael Myers for the last time. Thumbs up. How do we know it's the last time? Like what, or not, I'm not saying the last time like another movie, but I'm saying like, what if that fight happens and like, bro, could you imagine if it like opened in a fight? Like,
that's what's gonna piss me off.
Like you get no like you get no
warning. You get no lube whatsoever, just straight up in the ass. And then after it's done, they leave, and you're sitting there questioning yourself, like, did I really just let that happen? Like, bro, if that's what the movie's gonna feel like, I mean, sure, I guess.
Could you imagine if it opened and the entire like hour and a half is just this balls to the wall, bloody, brutal fight scene between Michael and Laurie? That's the entire hour and a half. It's just a crazy fight scene the entire time.
Just a crazy fight scene, and then like it kind of cuts back to like memories, like, you know, flashbacks. That's like perpetually the movie, but then it cuts back to the fight again. And it's like it keeps going back and back and back and back. There's that'd be kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Flashbacks to Loomis talking to Michael, and Michael just being like, Loomis is talking. He's like, "What did you eat for breakfast this morning?" And Michael's like, you know, that'd be funny. So moving on, Flick Direct. I almost said that wrong, and that wouldn't have been good.
Dick Direct.
Three-fourths of the trailers shown Halloween, the remake, and Halloween Ends. The final part was an amazing all-out brawl between Laurie and Michael. Eric Davis, this is the best description of it so far. We just got a first look at Halloween Ends featuring a wild brawl between Laurie and Michael in a kitchen, fighting each other. Michael throws Laurie across the room. Laurie grabs a knife and stabs Michael through the hand. It ends with Laurie holding a knife over a trapped Myers. You know what I would love to see is if they did that. If
health
they did
bars
the stereo
while they're fighting.
Well, right, health bars in the corners, but if they also did the stereotypical like 90s 2000 thing, like Freddy versus Jason, like there's certain scenes like where Jason will hit Freddy and Freddy goes flying like 40 feet in the other direction. It's like, holy shit, how hard did he hit him? You know what I mean?
I would love to see that. Yeah.
If
I hope
Michael,
there's behind the scenes footage of like Laurie of like Jamie Lee Curtis is being strapped to like a thing that has cable.
he backhands her and she just goes like just like across the entire house. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Awesome. And that's what
what
confuses me, because it's like these are like 78-year-old people fighting one another. I don't see any one of them slinging them like 20 feet in the air.
It's a bunch of geriatric folk that are too
you
old.
You love that word.
Literally two old people that are sitting there tearing each other apart, and they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my grandparents can't even walk 20 feet without feeling pain. Like, Jesus Christ, these people are
bro. We can't even walk 20 feet without feeling pain, and we're in our late 20s. Oh man, that's funny. John Rokta, aka the Outlaw Nation, says, playing us a great reel of Laurie Strode's ride through Halloween with some scary, gory, and insanely brutal scenes for Halloween Ends, including an awesome confrontation between her and Michael Myers. It's time to do a rewatch of these to get ready for this one on October 22nd.
The Outlaw Nation?
Sure.
Bro, these people probably just like run past the light at a yellow. That's probably the most of their like Outlaw Nation that they do. They just run past a yellow, or they do a rolling stop, and they're like, "Ooh."
These people are like, outlaws. I ran a red light once.
You know how like when you're trying to like catch like a yellow, but then you miss it, but then like the guy right behind you just blares past it too, and there's that like moment where you're like, friend. That's how the Outlaw Nation started. That's how it started.
Oh man,
they create a Facebook chat and everything. They have Saturday night mornings with them.
J-Dad says, or could begin with a fight and then Laurie wakes up, then we get the title screen. Oh, that's interesting. It opens with a fight, but then she wakes up, and then that's the beginning of the movie. Then she wakes up,
and then right beside her is Loomis, just like, "Are you good?" So yeah.
Well, if she's gonna wake up, we got to do like how she wakes up, like the first time we see her in H2O, where like you can tell she's definitely like she's got like a bottle of vodka and pills all over the place, and she's having the nightmare, and she's like thrashing in bed. Dude. You know what I mean?
What if it's like H2O? Yeah, Rob Zombie's H2O, where like there's like this giant fight in the beginning. What? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. What if it's like this?
Oh, the hospital thing. I see.
Like the hospital thing.
No.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what the fuck's gonna happen. Yep, I see it now. I see it clearly. The rain is gone.
I don't like that, because that's why. Guess what,
man? It doesn't matter what you do or don't like, brother.
Like the movie's filmed by now, so it's too late. That's what I hate about Rob Zombie's movie, though, is the fact that it's like. It's literally, listen, Halloween 2 literally has the coolest opening of like any movie in the franchise. Like, he was going so strong until she wakes up from the dream, and it's just like, that wasn't even real. Like, literally, you gave us like the coolest, most brutal sequence in the entire franchise, and it wasn't even real. Like,
well, you know what? That was filmed too. So, in that regards, it can happen here.
That's fair. That's fair. And the mask looks so good. Oh, that movie makes me so mad, because it had so much potential. Halloween Ends footage
was all ripped and decrepit too, and look what they're talking about.
I know, right? Halloween Ends footage is highlighted by a brutal fight between Laurie, I almost said Lykel, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and it ends with Laurie stabbing him through the hand and putting a knife to his head. Looks like a huge improvement over the last one. Can't wait. So lots of good things being said about the first official Halloween Ends footage. Art says Crouching Tiger, Hidden Pumpkin. That's awesome. J-Dad says if you treated a resident in a retirement home like the directors treat JLC, then you'd be in prison. Could you imagine? She's reading the script and she's like, it says that I get drug across the room by my hair. Is that true? They're like, yeah, James is going to drag you through at least 6 doors by your hair. Nothing but
James, you're just in the back, like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going to enjoy this, guys.
J-Dad says, plot twist, Myers gets arrested, found not guilty on all counts except for elder abuse on Laurie.
That's a long murder episode right there.
The goofy thing, murder.
I love murder.
So that is going to do it for the Halloween Ends talk, guys. Let us know what you think of the description, because of course we're not going to get it until later. The description of the first official teaser trailer for Halloween Ends. Every slash, what is it? Every scream, every scare, every slash. Is that what it is? Has led to this. I don't know. That's awesome.
That's gonna be the motto for the entire thing. It's like, you know how like evil dies tonight. It's gonna be like every scare, every slash, every blood.
Right?
Like, yeah, I could totally see.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not.
Shut the fuck up. You're gonna buy a t-shirt as soon as it comes out.
I know, right? I really will.
Yeah.
I really will. I couldn't wait to get my hands on a Halloween Kills shirt once they like officially, like the Fright Rag shirts.
Yeah.
Dude, Fright Rags does. There are some cool horror companies that do like shirts and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So let's move on. Next stop is Warner Brothers. We are going to check out the Warner Brothers reveals from CinemaCon. So just real quick, by the J-Dad, you're leaving, J-Dad? You're gonna leave us? Really?
Bye,
really?
buddy.
Really?
He heard Warner Bros. And he was like,
I know, right? He was like, DC? Nope. J-Dad, we love you, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us as much as you do. You rock. So CinemaCon, Warner Brothers brings all the footage and then some. The Warner Brothers panel for CinemaCon is always massive and always contains more footage than we know what to do with, kind of like a Subway sandwich. So the recap of the panel will be long and annoying, kind of like me, but we're going to do our best to give you as much detail as we can to remember from the 2-hour panel that featured a ton of new footage. Right out of the gate, the studio confirmed that the Batman 2 is on the way. I'm down for that. That made me happy. That made me really excited, genuinely. And they released the first look at Margot Robbie as Barbie, which I saw this, and she is perfect. And it is perfect, but I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me uncomfortable at the same time.
Bro, like, they literally got like
it's almost like
they got Margot Robbie, and they said, let's think of any fucking movie with a blonde white girl and make Margot Robbie play her.
I know. It almost looks like this is a remake of Miss Congeniality, but that's not old enough to do a remake. You know what I mean? Like, it's not nearly old enough to do a remake of that film.
I bet that shit's gonna be corny as fuck.
I know. We got a sizzle reel looking at many upcoming Warner Brothers projects, which we'll discuss later, and logos for projects that are coming soon. We got a chance to see an extended look at Elvis from there in terms of Warner Brothers pictures. We are nervous for it. This one is right at the top, but director Baz Luhrmann confirmed that star Austin Butler is doing his own singing Rocket Man style, and this is less of a biopic and more of using Elvis to explore the time period and zeitgeist around him. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have like a super huge. This is an example of one of those movies. I'll probably watch it like after it is out. You know, like after it like home video. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like after
bro. This movie was supposed to come out like a year or two ago.
Was it really?
Like it should.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it should have came out like a year or two ago. Back when like Bohemian Rhapsody and like Rocket Man came out. Like that's when this movie should have came out. Back in like the hype of that shit.
It's going like, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I assume, because you remember we talked about like the fucking like Rockstar verse or some bullshit like that. Yeah. So like I hope that the trend of Rockstar biopics are still a thing because I'm
Yeah.
sure this is a good movie. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody was phenomenal. Rocket Man was just as good. And even with what's his name, Egerton, like he did his own
Yeah.
singing.
Dude, he killed it, man.
But
Yeah,
Elton John
really
still
killed it.
praised him. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, Elton's only person out of those 3 movies that's still alive. And so it'd be interesting to hear what's his fucking face as Austin Butler do his own singing. So
I wonder if they'll ever do like a Kurt Cobain one.
I
Kurt
wouldn't.
Cobain biopic. I don't know. Yeah, like
I wouldn't.
I mean, he was an interesting guy, but like I don't know if you want to touch that with a 29.5 foot pole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's like doing another Selena movie because like this bitch is still in prison and about to get out. You don't need to rile up the crowd anymore at this point. Like let's not delve into that.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, Warner Brothers took a brief look at some of the 2023 movies to come out. We got a new look at Wonka, which is it's a musical.
Wonka.
It's a musical.
Wonka.
Listen,
all of them are musicals.
If you've seen like Timothée Chalamet and the Wonka getup, like it looks good. It really does. But I don't know how I feel about Wonka being a musical. Like, you know,
it's
what
all
I mean?
Been a musical.
It needs to be more of a serious musical. It needs to not be like I say serious, not like World War II drama serious. That's not what I mean. But like, it needs to be not as like show tuney. You know what I mean?
I'm sure it's all a musical, dog.
Huh?
Yeah, all like both the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka and Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka were all like
but it wasn't
musicals.
like full on like.
I'm sure that's the same take. I'm sure they're going to do the same take.
Like it wasn't. I don't know. That'll be interesting. He does look good. I got to give him credit. I think Timothée Chalamet is actually a really talented actor. You know, but it's kind of like this guy says, like, you know, it goes for whimsy, but star, you know, Timothée Chalamet. It wasn't mind blowing, but it wasn't bad. And like he said, it's not going to be a musical where everything is sung. You know what I mean?
There you go.
He says his voice wasn't super impressive, but you know, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, that'll be an interesting one. Comes out of December of next year, so we got over a year. We got like a year and a half until this film comes out. Here's where we get interesting.
It's just gonna look like a Cruella thing,
probably. Listen, they were giving it out for free. I didn't buy this, but I have a Cruella poster. Actually, Cruella was pretty dope. We went and saw it and we enjoyed it. Actually, I thought it was
I'm sure it was good,
kind of cool.
But like it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be like the same premise.
Yeah, it was like a cool reimagining of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do like the normal, like traditional, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory like story, or if this is gonna be like.
I hope they show us how he found the Oompa Loompas.
You know what I mean? Right?
I want him.
That'd be awesome.
I want it to be like the Gru in the Minion thing, like where you get their like back their like origins. That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
I want it.
So we jumped into another DC movie right after Wonka, which was The Flash. This was more early footage, and no one brought up the issues with Ezra Miller. Of course, why would anybody have brought that up? You know what I mean? Like if the head of DC Films logged on, he was like, "So we know what's going on." Like nobody would, you know, they're not going to say anything about that. The footage was just introduced, and then we moved right along to show it off. This is where we get kind of interesting. Especially when we get to the Batman stuff. Some of the footage is stuff that we saw during DC Fandom, but we did see a lot more. There are plenty of hints that Barry is going to do something dumb and mess up the timeline, meaning messing up the multiverse again, Flashpoint. We got a great shot of Sasha Calle as Supergirl. Some scenes that show how Barry's speed will be shown in this movie, but the big thing that drew a reaction, and here's the interesting thing, was the appearance of Michael Keaton. Now listen to this, because it's interesting. They're kind of doing something. They're doing something a little bit. They're doing something a little bit different than I expected them to. We saw a long-haired, scruffy-looking version of him from behind. We find out it's Keaton's Batman because a door opens to reveal 7 suits, and one of the logos is black and yellow. So we have 7 Batman suits.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Know, right? Keaton he's got long hair, he's scruffy. We also get another shot of Keaton cleaned up without the cowl. This kind of blew me away. I was like, what? Saying, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. We still have no idea how they will approach Miller, but the movie still has a June 23rd, 2023 release date. Let's talk about the Keaton Batman thing. That's one of the highlights of what we got at CinemaCon for me. Like, are they going to do, like, why is he all, like, why are they showing this transformation of him being, like, scruffy and, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you think he's retired from being Batman when we find him? And then
why are all of these things like retired Batman? Like, I don't get it. I don't like why does he have to be like a retired, like, you know, decrepit, like old, like scruffy Batman? Like, bro, why the fuck is that? Why the fuck is that a big deal? Like why? Like, why do we need to have like that type of thing? Like, just show him like as Batman. Like, I don't fucking care about what he's been doing.
Like, when we're introduced to him, though, do you think he's gonna still be Batman, or is he just a guy who once was Batman, but he's kind of old, he's retired?
He's just gonna be
like,
Bruce Wayne, yeah. And that shit
that's
don't
interesting.
make no sense to me.
Also, 7 suits.
Bro, my man was making a lot of suits. Bro, what if they make it seem like Michael Keaton's Batman played in like all of the older Batmans, and they just did away with all like Val
you get
Kilmer's,
like every suit.
George
You
Clooney's.
get like the Dark Knight trilogy suit, the Pattinson suit, the Adam West suit. Like, you get like everything.
No, I mean like all the 80s one, like the bat nipple, the freeze suit, like all of those, like, and then like he pans over, looks at all those suits, and he looks at the bat nipple one, and he's like,
that would make me so happy.
This was whenever I fought the Joker, and then this one was whenever I fought Mr. Free. Moving on, and then and that's how you like
listen, if we get like a suit up when he says you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Like, I need Keaton to, like, he goes to reach for the bat nipple suit. Wait, he goes to reach for the bat nipple suit, and he's like,
no.
And then he looks at like the OG, like Batman 89, like red and yellow suit, or black and yellow suit, and he's like, and he reaches for that one instead. Like, he almost went for the bat nipples, and then he was like, no. You know?
Yeah, and then he pans to the camera and like a telling to the audience, like, yeah, that was stupid, so we're not gonna think about it.
Ooh, there's your girl, Harry Styles and Florence Pugh.
Holy shit, that is Florence Pugh.
Yes,
what's he doing with fucking Harry Styles? Get the fuck out of here.
I feel like she looks different, like in every movie, like drastically different. You know what I mean?
Well, she's a versatile actress.
She is. She's good, man. Next, we have another example of a movie I only know a little bit about, but it's at the top of my must-see list. And it's excited that we get another one. Warner Brothers has released a first look of Don't Worry, Darling, but director Olivia Wilde came out and showed us a trailer. She compared it to The Truman Show and Inception. That's a weird duo to, like, is there really I mean, it's been a while since I've seen either of those films, but I mean, they're both they're both fantastic movies, but that's an odd combination. The Truman Show and Inception. like yeah. What? You know what I mean?
It's like, if you say that means that you're just telling the audience like it's not going to be good.
I don't know if it's not that it's going to be good. I think that tells me it's going to be weird. Like, something's going to be very Chris Nolan, like it's going to completely just knock you off your feet.
Yeah.
There's a very uncanny valley, something is not right feeling here over the entire thing. That something is weird is going on in this place, and everyone is lying to each other. And he says you need to put that one at the top of your list. So,
bro, did you hear about what happened to Olivia Wilde?
No, what happened?
So, you know, like Olivia Wilde and like Jason Sudeikis were like married, but then they got separate. They did like a trial separation, and I think Olivia Wilde is like dating Harry Styles right now. So, damn. But apparently, in one of the presentations, somebody walked up to her, gave her a manila envelope, and she was like, "Oh, is this a script? Like, what is this?" And then when she opens it up, she realizes that she was served papers, her divorce papers. On stage.
No way.
Yeah, on stage, dog.
That's cold.
These paper servers, they give less than 2 shits or a fuck about what you're doing. I commend them for the amount of like embarrassment that they put on themselves, or the amount of like stress that they put on themselves. Because this
that's
person
actually like
walked
a
on
pretty
stage and gave it to Olivia Wilde with
that
a
takes
smirk. I'm sure that takes fucking
a
like
nutsack,
his
man.
like he had to carry his balls off the stage. Like that's how much.
Wow.
That's how like fucking like insane that is.
Well, do you remember that show? I feel like it was on like True TV or A&E or one of those shows that had like in the Dog the Bounty Hunter era and that kind of thing. It was a show about about
Yeah, it was
a
like reality TV, like
yeah.
Big Lick Towing, South Beach Tow, Dog the
Yeah,
Bounty
yeah,
Hunter, like
that whole
yeah,
era, you know what I mean?
and
I
we
forget what it was
fucking
called.
loved every one of
I
them.
know, right? I watched, dude, Dog the Bounty Hunter was like our jam. Like we watched Dog the Bounty Hunter
Nah,
every
it
day.
was South Beach Tow. Bernice Jenkins. She was a
You know what?
fucking
Well,
wild
I
man.
mean, Dog the Bounty Hunter is still on, but you know what other one has actually survived, which blows my mind, is Storage Wars is still on. Like that's still a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's besides the point. I'm not talking about that one. I mean, I figured that could stay around for a while. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like the reality-ish kind of like, stuff like that.
Yeah. That is kind of reality though.
Yeah, but it's not really like, you know what I mean. They're not
I mean,
trying to get money.
they're all staged to some extent. I mean, I don't know if Dog
Yeah.
is. Dog's probably the one that's the least staged. You know what I mean? Because they are
Yeah.
actually arresting people.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, Olivia
I don't know.
Wilde, she got served papers, dog. The shit reminded me of like, how like like Pineapple Express when like it starts off with Seth Rogen and he's that guy. Like all he does is he sits in his car. No, is it yeah, it's Pineapple Express. He sits in his car, he smokes weed, he has a shit ton of like costumes, and he dresses up as whoever he wants, and then he
Yeah.
serves papers to people. And it's like the most stupidest shit ever. So like the fact is, it's just the fact that like this was at like an event. Like this person had to go to security, executives, her bodyguards, and whoever's protecting the main stage. Because we've already seen Will Smith and Kanye West do some crazy shit.
I mean, there would
But
have to be
obviously,
a stage manager. Like that person had to have gotten past somebody. You know what I mean? To
yeah,
do that. That's wild.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane.
So yeah, I thought that
Woo!
was fucking hilarious. I wonder if it was
Sheesh!
at that event. Damn. I'm sure Jason Sudeikis didn't like realize what was going on, because I mean
Yeah.
that you really don't. It's really up to like the servers, like that, like they just pick and choose whenever they get a manila envelope and they're said find a way to give this to them, and then that's how it works.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
crazy, man.
digress.
Wow. So CinemaCon Warner Brothers Part 2. This is the second part of Warner Brothers presentation. So since this panel was pretty much nothing but 2 hours of new footage, and I should have said this before, all of this is coming from bleedingcool.com. I actually just found them today. I'd never heard of Bleeding Cool. CinemaCon 2022. This is their recap of part 2 of Warner Brothers presentation. It was time to dive more into DC movies, and we moved on to Shazam! Fury of the Gods. We have had several cast members come out and talk about how they're planning to preserve the previous movie's tone in the sequel, which is good because the first one hit the right tone. I still have yet to see Shazam. I've still never seen the first one. Never watched it.
It's all right. It's fun. I
didn't really haven't. Is he like their Deadpool, basically?
No.
Okay, so no.
No.
Anyways, we also found out that there will be a time jump, so many of the kid actors shot up like weeds. We saw a trailer with a lot more of the adult versions of the characters, and the one-liners look fantastic. This is one of the few movies that got moved up recently and is now coming out on December 12th. So Shazam! Fury of the Gods is coming out sooner. We jumped from that straight into a behind-the-scenes featurette from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Hashtag justice for Johnny Depp. Just saying. We found out that Black Manta has come into great power, and Arthur and Orm will
Jason
have to
Momoa ain't got shit to do with it, though.
No, but Amber Heard does.
Yeah, I know.
And she's still in it.
It just
Warner Brothers. She's still in it.
Sucks that Sucks that Aquaman's gonna get hit hard because of that.
I know, man, I know. The VFX in the behind-the-scenes featurette was incomplete, but there was some squid robots that made me think of The Matrix. Director James Wan talked about elevating this to the next level and how a new rigging and way of shooting really opened up the possibilities for him as a director. It will be released March 17th, 2023. We got to stick around for the next Warner Brothers movie as well, and we got to talk about Salem's Lot. That's another horror film. Horror reboot coming from Warner Brothers. Juan got to speak about it briefly, but we did get to hear from director Gary Delberman about how he went for practical effects. Always good to hear in a horror movie. Love it. It's a bit hard to know one way or another when it comes to horror movies and whether or not it will rely on jump scares or atmosphere. There was a pretty big jump scare in the trailer, but it does look like there's going to be some atmosphere here. The eyes of the vampires in particular are two pinpricks of colors that glow in the dark. That actually sounds scary. Like, that could be pretty cool. You know what I mean? I don't know that I've ever seen Salem's Lot in its entirety, like the original.
I've never seen it.
Who knows? We'll probably cover it on Purely and Simply Evil one of these days. But you know, we'll definitely cover it on Pace here at some point in the future. Juan got to stick. We already said that. Dwayne Johnson came out to close out the Warner Brothers presentation, starting with DC League of Super Pets to end the night. That actually looks fun. I gotta say that looks like it'll be fun.
Is this the one with like Afro, like Cyborg and like weird looking Aquaman?
Yeah,
bro.
Johnson praised the animation style and said that lots of this movie depends on the dynamic between him and Kevin Hart. We got a new trailer with some new footage as well. We got a chance to see some of what appears to kick off the movie. There was some sort of weird little creature that threw kryptonite at Superman and captures him. Many people seem down on this movie, but it looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, and kids are probably going to adore it. It'll be released on July 29th. Listen, it's got to be better than some of what DC's done in the past. I'm just saying. And I know people are going to call. We're already
no, because DC makes good animated movies.
They do. DC. Listen, I got to give credit where credit is due. DC's animation department is always on point, always. And I know that, you know, there's kind of talk.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like this is dead ass like the animation department. They're literally like they'll get hit with some like they'll read the papers of like how DCEU's fucking up, and they're over here like ain't gotta do nothing with us.
All right. Well, that's what I'm saying though. I know like now that it's Warner Brothers Discovery and there's the whole like we've already said that like the high ups are looking to completely just flip the DCEU and like the staff at DC Films and everything on its head, and they want to make it DC Studios and kind of have somebody as like in a Kevin Feige Godfather role. Like I get that, you know what I mean, and that's cool, and I think we do need that for the DCEU moving forward. But I hope they leave the animation department alone, because like literally DC animation from right now all the way to like the 80s and 90s has all like DC's animation has always been on point. I mean, if you look at like the OG Batman Beyond and like, I mean, listen, some of the animated Batman stuff we got like when we were kids, like late 90s, 2000s, like that was sick. Yeah, that was awesome. You know what I mean? So I do hope that they kind of keep a lot of those same, you know, I hope they keep the animation department the same. Yeah. Finally, Black Adam was our closer. John, I keep saying Johansson for some reason.
I keep thinking you're going to say Joe Pesci. And I don't know. Damn, son.
Johnson talked about how this movie has been a dream of his for over a decade, but that he and Warner Brothers didn't really see a reason to rush it if they didn't need to. He referred to Black Adam as the Dirty Harry of the superhero world. And then we got a trailer. That's awesome. I like that. We got a chance to see some more of Dr. Fate, who looks awesome. And we also got to see a little more of Hawkman, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone. This movie will be auditioning members of the Justice Society of America. And at one point, someone says to Black Adam that heroes don't kill people. And he replies with, "Well, I do." So this will be a moral gray area of the DC universe. The panel revealing a ton of stuff and giving us a look at what to look forward to this year and next.
Yeah, if they're trying to say this is like Dirty Harry, dude, I'm not gonna lie. Dirty Harry would not survive in this climate.
Yeah,
none of his movies would survive in this climate that we have in Hollywood. Not at all. If you've watched all the Dirty Harry movies with Clint Eastwood, you be catching my drift right there, Doug.
Right.
So that's gonna be interesting. The fact that Dwayne The Rock Johnson, future President Johnson, you know, like
oh my God.
I'm saying, man, be careful. You got to image protect.
Well, what else do you say about that? I like the whole heroes don't kill people. Well, I do. I like that. That's pretty cool.
I like it too.
I am excited. That's another one though. I'm excited for Black Adam. It's different. It looks like it's got heart, and I don't know a whole lot about the character, and I don't know a whole lot about like
literally
the story.
Black Adam is just there to protect his world of Kunda or whatever the fuck it's called, and that's it. If he feels that place is threatened, he's like an evil Aquaman. Like he's only there to protect Atlantis.
Is he really a villain though?
Yeah, he's a villain. He's like an anti-hero. He's like he's
like a Venom.
Yeah, he's just there to protect his home. That's it. Whoever it is, if it's Superman, he's gonna fuck him up. If it's like Brainiac, he'll team up with the Justice League to fight them. Like that's just the way it is. He needs to protect his home. That's pretty much it.
He could actually take Superman, right? Like that's a thing, right?
I mean, it'd be a fun fight, but you know, Superman, he holds back.
That's fair. That is fair. So next up on our docket, real quick, just briefly, before we get to our finale of the evening, which is Walt Disney Studios. And if you're watching with us, please be sure to leave us a like. Universal CinemaCon studio boss Donna Langley says theatrical cornerstone to business, shows off Nope, Halloween Ends, Easter Sunday, and more. Universal continued its whatever that word is, motif from CinemaCon 2021 on Wednesday, spotlighting the work of movie theater workers during the studio's presentation, pairing them with their favorite stars. It's a classy way of paying homage to those in exhibition, particularly after the industry was brought to its knees in 2020 to early 21 due to COVID. The Universal Motion Picture Entertainment Group boss Donna Langley was the first onstage, quipping, "I'm sure there's a drinking game tied to when a studio exec gets on stage and says the magic of movies." That's pretty cool. My confidence in theatrical has never wavered. Says Langley. Theatrical will always be the cornerstone of our business. Cheers to that, she continued. We remain committed to offering you compelling content to bring people back to the box office. We are all here to celebrate great movies from our industry's brightest talent. Theatrical will always be the cornerstone of our business. Original stories and seeing us on the big screen is what will stand the test of time. Said Jamie Orr, which is Universal's domestic distribution boss, taking over the stage. Orff offered a field of dreams, quote, "If you build it, they will come. If you stop building, they will not." The studio has 25 films this year, theatrically. 10 more than any other studio. That's a lot of movies for a year. 25 movies from Universal this year. Uni's extensive presentation addressed all of the titles from Jurassic World, Dominion to Minions, original comedies, personal film.
You know this author felt good about that one.
I know, right? They were like, they were sitting there like typing that. If we narrow what we bring to theaters, our audience will get smaller. We need an industry that creates and impacts culture every single weekend. I love that. I really like that. Well, man, these people are well said. I like the people at Universal.
Right? The way they're writing this thing, they're probably thinking like, dog, this article is going to take me out of 8 Mile, dog. Like, shit, I'm going to make it big.
Yeah. Personal stories, original ideas, and seeing ourselves reflected on the big screen will stand the test of time. All good things. First up, Jordan Peele's Nope was the first pick on stage today, with Anthony Fikes, co-owner of Next Act Cinema, the first Black-owned cinema in the Baltimore area, sharing time with Oscar-winning filmmaker. Fikes told Peele how his canon, Get Out, and Us were so important to his African-American audiences. "I love that you keep making original stories, but you're out here doing something new every single time. I'm always attracted to my favorite movie I haven't seen before," said Peele. "My plan is to bring these new ideas and nightmares to the big screen. We're here to make sure that big screen continues to the best place to experience film." Good Lord, we get it. We know big screen. The theatrical releases, that's your thing. Peele couldn't make it 5 years
ago. But honestly, they're like, if you think about it, Universal's like top tier.
Yeah, they are,
Like
man.
I would say they are.
Universal's got great movies.
Yeah, like if we were gonna rank like studios, that would take a while for us to figure out. But
yeah,
in my eyes, I would say Universal is pretty much top list.
I agree. I think
If you look at their whatever the fuck that word is, their list of movies, filmography, yeah, it's pretty lengthy,
yeah,
dog.
it is definitely. Oh, excuse me. What is Nope? While a trailer, that's the big question. Literally, what is Nope? We don't even know what it is. What is Nope? While a trailer already dropped, in the latest, we see that aliens are haunting siblings played by Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. There's cowboys in clouds with something that kills flickering, galloping horses, sky, and a reference to metal probes. Whatever it is, they're coming back. Do you think whatever killed Pops is out there? Palmer asked her bro, and they as their ranch and desert home are rocked by sandstorms and waterfalls. A UFO appears at the end of the trailer, possibly revealing what the whole environmental problems are about. That sounds weird. And as much as I like this new, what do they call it? This, what do they call it? Elevated horror. I almost said ethereal. Elevated horror. That's kind of what this is. It's more of like, it's horror for the thinking man type deal. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what his films are. It's more of like a think piece. You know what I mean? Like his, I mean, they have like the social commentary in them, and they have, a lot of those things, which I don't know. I'll have to watch Get Out and Us again.
And that's way better than the fucking Freddy Krueger bullshit I saw that the other week with Freddy's Revenge.
Slashers?
Yeah, the fuck, dog. Yeah.
So you're an elevated horror guy. You're not a slasher guy.
Yeah, I'm elevated horror, straight up and down.
You like zombies though.
Yeah, I like zombies. Hey, it's cool. But last time I checked, a zombie doesn't hold a knife or gloves or some shit like that or haunt your dreams. They're just there to eat.
Yeah. Well, even like Malignant, like when you remember Malignant when we did our review on that, like
yeah, I like Malignant.
Yeah, like that was weird. Like I don't know, I'd like it. It just depends. Like I'm definitely a zombie guy and a slasher guy. That's kind of but I also like a slasher with a good story though too. You know what I mean? Like that's why I like Halloween so much, is because it's got a good story,
Yeah, but you understand, like movies like Malignant and like Nope and all that stuff, like it literally takes like a small like thing that you are like slightly like uncomfortable with or fearful of, like, and just like blows it out of proportion to this massive movie. Well, that's pretty good.
And that's kind of how Stephen King works too. Like, even if you think about, like, we kind of talked about this, like you even mentioned this, like in a previous episode, like the Stephen King verse. I don't remember what episode it was. It might've been on Purely and Simply Evil. But like the Stephen King thing where like, for example, Pennywise, like when he was writing it and he was creating the Pennywise character, like he was like, what are the two things that most people, like if you went out and you did like if you took a poll, like out in the world, like, what are the two things that most, like the majority of people are afraid of? Clowns and spiders. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty standard of what people are afraid of. So it's like, okay, well, duh. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, I'll make a clown that is actually a spider. Like, duh. And I think it's kind of the same thing with you. Like it almost I feel like the theme though with ethereal horror is there's always something. Like the whole thing in Malignant, like you think you know what's happening until you don't. You know what I mean? Until I feel like with this elevated horror genre and kind of what horror is kind of trending with right now, like there's always like you think you know what's happening and then you don't.
Yeah,
you know
it's like
I mean?
a bunch
And
of
then it's like there's
like
always
that.
something that just rocks your world. Like 3/4 of the way through the movie where it's like, I didn't even think of that. Like what, and that's cool. I mean, it's cool to have those twists, and I'm excited for Nope. I do need to watch. It is canon with Us and Get Out though, right? Like is it the same universe or is it something different?
It's the same universe. I mean, it's the same universe, I guess. That's Peele's universe, I guess.
I mean, are they standalone films or are they actually like?
I mean, I don't know. We thought all the Stephen King movies were standalones until he came out and said they're all connected. So I mean, I don't fucking know. Maybe this is just Peele's doing like a Stephen King thing where you're just making a shit ton of.
Get Out, didn't you?
I love both of them. I love Get Out and Us. Both are just as fucking freaky.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch them again. I think the first time I saw Get Out, I was like, what?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Get Out isn't necessarily like again, that was something. It was something that like they pulled an irrational type of fear and just made it like something and blew it up. Like,
yeah,
meeting your fan, like having an interracial
that's fair,
a
right?
relationship and
Yeah,
then meeting the family.
yep,
Some people are necessarily scared of that. Some people are pretty like, not
yeah,
scared, but like they're uncomfortable with that of like the first initial meeting of the parents. So just
yeah.
imagine that. Jordan Peele literally just made that concept and blew it up and added some commentary in it.
Yeah, and it makes sense that that type of horror is trending right now because there's what I know, yeah, where he's like,
Now, could you hit your glass?
especially like in the political climate and in the, um, in the world we live in today, like it makes sense that like people are liking that kind of thing. They're liking that social commentary that's like really laced in the plot. You know what I mean?
No, I mind. I like subtle ones, but then when it's like shoved down your throat, it's like, dog, just say the shit. Just say what's wrong. And that's why
Yeah.
that's why I praise what's his name? He was in Black Clans. He directed Black Klansman. You know what I'm talking about?
Daniel Kaluuya,
No,
or is it somebody else? I don't know.
the director. Forgot who it's
I
called.
don't know. I didn't see Black Klansman. I actually wanted to. It's on my list of ones I need.
Again, that's a
But
good movie. The commentary, plain as day. It's right there in front of your face, and it's, hey, we're
yeah,
gonna make a movie out of it. So, but I digress. Yeah, I think Jordan Peele is making like single like single installments of films, and maybe it might connect. I don't fucking know, but it's just the fact that like those three movies both like pull at different sides of like your own like rational fear, and I
yeah.
fucking love it. And
I get it.
I guess you could say I'm an elevated horror guy. Like, yeah, sure, I'll say
I
that.
get that. I
Yeah.
completely get that. Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween Kills would next. We already talked about Halloween Ends a little bit. Receiving prompt big cheers when she walked on stage. She joked, 2 people got up. Okay, whatever. It's only been 44 years. She said, I'm fine. I'm secure. I'm fine. It's really nice to be here again. And she called Halloween Ends Laurie Strode's last stand. Curtis also championed the theatrical movie-going experience and the soulful affinity many get when watching a movie next to each other. The underscore of her statement. She also gave a shout out to how her latest art house hit Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I definitely need to see because a lot of people are talking about that.
Wait, Jamie Lee Curtis was in everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. She's
She
in a.
was in it,
I think she's in a fat suit. She's the old lady in the yellow.
bro. We need to see it. I need
I
to
know.
fucking
I
see
do.
that
We
movie.
need to see it.
I
We
need to
definitely
see
need to
that
do it. We
movie.
need to do a
Get
review.
the fuck out of here.
It's getting a lot of buzz. We need to do a review.
Yeah.
For that. Is making waves theatrically. Curtis was paired with Emily and Michaela Celerio, guest attendants of Alamo Drafthouse in Stone Oak in San Antonio. Valerie Lewis, operations manager, whatever. The blunt respect to all of those people, by the way. I'm not skipping over you. That is disrespect. We're moving on. The Blumhouse pick follows a robot whose inventor dreamed up a perfect toy that would protect a child from feeling Megan. Never mind. I'm sorry. Valerie Lucas, operations manager, Marcus Theaters, Oakdale, Minnesota, shared the spotlight with Allison Williams, star of Megan. I forgot about Megan. I actually saw this today. The Blumhouse pick, talking about Megan, follows a robot whose inventor dreamed up a perfect toy that would protect a child from ever feeling lonely or sad. A regenerative android who looks like a girl and becomes part of the family where all goes well until it doesn't. The ominous footage shows her getting fresh and told to shut down. Scary dolls never like that. Then blood splatters and nobody is happy anymore. Introducing the film Get Out star Williams said, I have no idea how I ended up being in these movies because I'm too scared to watch all of the other movies in that genre.
That's hell no. This is like a weird Chucky movie. Fuck out of here. I don't vibe with that.
That kind of gives me Chucky vibes. Movie reviews is back. Sorry, I had to text my cousin. Miss anything? Nope. We are. We talked Halloween Ends. We talked Warner Brothers and some of the DC stuff. Now we are on Universal, talking about some of the Blumhouse picks that are coming up. We just talked Jordan Peele's Nope, and then a little bit more on Halloween Ends, and now we are on Megan, which is apparently kind of a Chucky-esque story. A dramatic clip from Beast showed star Idris Elba getting jumped by what looks like the biggest lion you've ever seen. the worst case of hemorrhoids you've ever seen. Seen over and over with his family in the jungle. Audiences loved it. Joe Coy, the star of EP and Easter Sunday, came out before a session and had the entire Coliseum in stitches with his stand-up bit. He noticed Curtis's potty mouth and how he was 50 but wearing 18-year-old son's pants to be fashion forward. But I don't have my son's balls. I have 50-year-old balls. That's pretty good. He says Steven Spielberg first caught his act and invited the comedian in to pitch a story, a universal one. We all laugh at the same shit. He threw sweatshirts out to the crowd with help from Bao Q, the general manager at Regal LA Live. Easter Sunday looks like a great summer crossover title, reminiscent of My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Crazy Rich Asians. I didn't see Crazy Rich Asians, but I did. No, maybe I did.
I have not.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
I'd like to see.
Maybe I did. My Big Fat Greek Wedding was funny, though. Showing the comedian with his family, his warring relatives, and coming together around the dinner table. Universal knows how to stoke older audiences, and the studio, committed to diverse fare, has a rom-com you can't see on a streamer. That's Tickets to Paradise on October 21st, starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts. The duo play a divorced couple who head to Bali to stop their daughter's wedding from happening, essentially preventing her from making the same mistake that they did 25 years ago. That's actually pretty funny.
Jesus.
I could see that being kind of funny.
Yeah.
What's their game plan in the trailer? To try and convince their daughter they're okay with the marriage and then try to get her to end it herself. However, while in Paradise, Clooney's and Robert's characters fall in love, it looks like again. Other fresh trailers showed off, including She Said, Minions, The Rise of Gru, Bros, Puss in Boots 2, The Last Voyage of the Dementor.
Bro, all these movies sound fucking dope.
What?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited
really
for Puss in Boots. I'm excited for Minions, The Rise of Gru. Bro, all these movies are fucking dope. Yeah, bravo, Universal.
I didn't know Puss in Boots was still like relevant.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know that he was still relevant.
This movie,
all, you know?
This one right here, I think this is the last installments for Puss in Boots. And it's supposed to be about like how he died again and he's now in his last of his 9 cat lives.
I see.
Yeah. So it's basically like the end of the story of Puss in Boots pretty soon.
I get it.
Which did you hear about like the whole like Ice Age thing?
No.
So that studio, the studio that bought the studio that made Ice Age was bought out, and they were finishing the story. And the way they finished,
Didn't DreamWorks do Ice Age?
I think so, and I think that
they
studio
get bought
got
out.
out. I don't know, but
that wasn't a Warner Brothers thing, was it?
I doubt it. But what I'm saying is, to end like the storyline, they ended a storyline that really broke my heart. It was Scratch, the fucking squirrel with the acorn. They ended his story. Bro, this shit fucking broke my heart.
I know, right?
It was pretty much saying like, listen, guys, I know you enjoyed it, but guess what? You're 35 living in your parents' basement. It's time to fucking grow up. So they killed the fucking squirrel. It's like, dude, you couldn't give mercy to the squirrel. You had to kill him off.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry, guys.
The studio closed out its session with another look at Jurassic World Dominion with Bryce Dallas Howard and Jeff Goldblum on hand to introduce. That is coming to us from Deadline. Now, the finale of our evening, of course, is the Walt Disney Company, specifically and most interestingly enough, Marvel Studios and the next 10 years at Marvel Studios. We are literally planning Marvel movies until 2033, which is pretty wild.
Years. That's 2 5s, dog.
Pretty wild. That's the dumbest thing I think you've ever said. That's 2 5. That may be the dumbest shit you've ever said I've ever heard you say. That's pretty funny. That's actually pretty good. This first one coming to us from comicbook.com. This is the 2022. That's 2 5s. This is the full slate for 2022 and 2023 of the Walt Disney Company. Let me make this a little bit bigger for us. So there is the Disney slate for the next 2 years. We have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which releases next week. We have Lightyear, which I don't know how I feel about Lightyear. I'm kind of like, why?
What do you hate? Huh?
Like, why?
What do you hate? What do you hate about Lightyear?
Toy Story 4 sucked balls sack.
Bro, this has nothing to do with Toy Story.
What?
It's literally just about Buzz Lightyear, but the actual Buzz Lightyear. It's just him. It's like his actual story. Like,
but I feel like Tom Hanks. You are a toy, TOY toy. Like,
it's not talking about the toy though. It's talking about the story behind the toy.
Whatever.
That's pretty much what it's talking about. Like, you know how Buzz Lightyear had like a cartoon show about like, you know, his travels in the fucking space? That's pretty much what it consists of. And people like, it looks like a good movie. Like, again, Pixar doing magnificent with their fucking 3D animation. So it's just going to be a beautiful movie nonetheless. But then so many people are giving it hate because of like all like they talked about like, oh, there's a same-sex relationship or a same-sex kiss. It's like, dog, wake the fuck up. Like, who fucking cares? It's a goddamn cartoon. Yeah. Do you still wear Buzz Lightyear attire? Fucking wake up. Like, get over yourself, dog. Like, this movie right here, it's going to be a 3D magnificent scene. Same thing whenever we saw Toy Story. When we first saw Toy Story, we thought it was absolutely amazing. But when you see it now, it's basically something a 12-year-old made on his Dell laptop. Because that's how the animation was. This is going to be something that our kids are going to watch. And it's going to look just as fucking magnificent as if we saw Toy Story 1. Well, so who cares if there's like a same-sex thing? Get over yourself.
And there's how you feel. There's how Miguel feels about Lightyear. He has got very strong. You apparently you're defending that movie.
It's not the fact that I'm defending. I'm probably not going to watch this movie. I probably won't. You know why? Because it's not on my roster of lists. I'd probably watch Bob Burger's movie before I'd watch Lightyear. That's just how I roll. But all I'm saying is, don't dog on a movie because of some of that shit. Just get over yourself. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But guess what? Your kids are going to fucking love it. Your kids are going to drag you to it. They're going to say, Dad, Mommy, can I watch Lightyear? And then you're going to fucking bitch about it. But guess what? You're going to spend the $23 in a ticket and a popcorn and a Coke. So get over yourself and go watch the movie with your kids and give them some childhood memories. For fuck's sake. Get over yourself. I'll sign off now.
This has been Let's Talk. No, I'm kidding. The Walt Disney Company needs to hire you to defend Lightyear, bro. Like, that was I didn't expect that. That was very hardcore. So we have Bob's Burgers, of course, Thor, Love and Thunder, the Banshees of Inisherin. I think that's how you pronounce that. I don't know. We have Amsterdam, The Menu. Again, who knows? Disney's Strange World. 3 very, very interesting titles. We are getting a re-release of Avatar, and we'll kind of talk about Avatar again in just a second.
Like an updated version of Avatar?
I don't know, but I don't know if it'll be updated, but they're re-releasing it prior to Avatar: The Way of Water, which was also released. The official title for Avatar Part 2 is The Way of Water. Now,
bro, what the fuck are they gonna do? Huh? Are they gonna do all the elements? Because there's already like 5 movies out there. What is it? Avatar: The Way of the Water, Avatar: The Breath of the Wind, Avatar: Scorched in Fire, Avatar: Grounded in Earth. Like, what is this? This is the wrong Avatar, guys. This is the wrong Avatar. We're not trying to master all 4 elements. Like, calm the fuck down.
James Cameron somehow, I'm literally kidding. There's no way he's watching. But somewhere James Cameron just heard you say all that, and he's like,
he said Avatar 6,
write
7, 8, 9 already written down.
Well, he's got like 5 of them though. There's literally like, I think there's like 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 of them that they have like planned for, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't know.
It's like, I know in the way the titles are going right now, it's like, bro, are we really about to like tackle all of the elements? And what? Well, like they get through 4 elements, they're like, fuck. Well, we're in space. Let's make up a new element. Dejarian. Yeah, sure. Way of the Dejarian. Fuck,
it's not lost on me how much of a big deal of what Avatar meant for cinema. Like, I know Avatar is a big deal. I know Avatar meant a lot to the film industry. Even the second film, like, I'm not trying to disrespect the amount of work that James Cameron has put into this. Like, by no means, I know it's a big deal, but at the same time, I'm also just like, I was never like in love with the first Avatar. Like, holy crap. There are people that are like, Avatar is the greatest movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, I don't think so. Like,
Have you ever seen Dances with Wolves?
I wasn't super
then you've seen Avatar.
Crazy
pretty
about
much.
it, you know what I mean?
And as the meme always goes, Avatar is pretty much about a man betraying his own species to clap some alien cheeks. That's pretty much it. That was pretty much to be able to walk again and clap some alien cheeks. That's pretty much it. But I'll be honest, Avatar is just as good. Avatar is the same thing that Toy Story is. It was the epitome of animation. It was the epitome of animation. You got to understand this. It was the epitome of like CGI and using that digital artwork for a movie. Still to this day, Avatar still holds up decently. You could tell its age, but it still holds up. Yeah. But again, it was a part of its own time. You had your 10 years to figure that shit to make out sequels, but you didn't.
Well, and you know, it's kind of the same thing. Like going back to the CGI thing. Like I know it's a big deal because like they've even said, you know, James Cameron has commented on like the way that they filmed this movie, and you know, they use new underwater techniques and new technology and things like that, and that's amazing. Like that's great. I love that. It's the same kind of thing as like what Peter Jackson's King Kong did in 2005.
Ooh,
like if you remember, like
water technology. I swear to God, if this movie is just like Waterworld, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
You're about to get your ass chewed out in the comments. I'm just letting you know. People
saying,
are gonna be
dog.
like, "You just don't understand. You don't understand why Avatar is such a big deal." You know what I mean? Again,
and what is he gonna do? What is Sully gonna do over there in fucking Waterworld? Like, is he gonna try to save like a human that was somehow stuck in the fucking in Pandora? Like, I don't know where this movie's gonna fucking go.
I do want to rewatch it. It's been years since I've seen it, and who knows? Listen, I might watch it this time and be like, "Wow, I'm an idiot." Like I had no idea what I was watching the first time I saw it. I mean, because it's probably been. I remember seeing it in the movie theater. I think I may have seen it 1 or 2 times after that, but it's been over 5 years since I've seen it.
Avatar.
A long time.
So Avatar is one of those movies that was like dropped like every single Friday on FX. Like that's one of those movies where Avatar was
I think I remember
FX. Like it was on it every single night. Avatar was on like it's not the fact that I hate the movie. I don't hate the movie. I think it's a wonderful movie. It's just the fact that like there was no sequel, but the first Avatar was just pushed down your throat on every single cable network. And it was just thrown at you. And you could flip the channel.
I think that's
channel
part
21,
of it too, though.
Avatar. Channel 31, Spike TV, Avatar. TBS, Avatar. USA, Avatar. AMC, Avatar. The cooking channel, Gordon Ramsay, Avatar.
Yeah, that's part of the thing that irritates me though too. Is like, even when Endgame came out, and not irritates me, but I think it's one of the things that almost turns me off a little bit. And it's sad because it really has nothing to do with the movie itself. But like, you know, when Endgame was like, dude, Endgame is going to be the highest grossing modern movie of all time. Like, it's going to be a big deal. Everybody was like, but what about Avatar? What about Avatar? What about Avatar? And I was like, bro, but that Avatar came out a decade ago. Like, why are we talking like, what does Avatar have to do right now? And of course, it was like, oh, we got to re-release Avatar because Endgame's going to be, you know what I mean? It was very much like, whoop, we got to re-release Avatar. And it's like, but why? What?
But that's not necessarily like directors or studios. That's usually just the fans just fighting over that shit. Because if you don't know, there is a thing. I don't know if you know about this tradition. So the highest growing, if a movie comes out and it surpasses the highest growing movie or if it beats like a box office record of some other movie, the director of that movie writes a congratulation with the theme of the movie that just got beat. Did you know that? Because you remember the Star Wars. You remember the Star Wars giving
I remember that
thing to the Gauntlet. That's pretty much what that was. That's a tradition. I didn't know if you knew that. That is tradition for directors to do for other directors if their movie beats their box office record.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, because
So
for a long time it was which it was just it'd be James Cameron to James Cameron, but like Titanic was the highest for a long time. You know what I mean? Which I mean,
yeah.
Titanic was another James Cameron thing, but
So I think so. Like I said, like that's usually how it works.
could you imagine he
And
does a congratulations to himself?
to
It's like
himself.
the Titanic raises and then it goes down. That's awful.
He liked
That's
that joke.
that's freaking terrible.
He liked that joke. Congrats, dude.
I picture this crazy like this Avatar world, and then the Titanic just like comes up out of it. Oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah, but look it up. They make those letters public, and it's really cool. Like it's really nice to know like those movie studios do that. But
yeah,
I'm sorry, I totally just blew up Avatar.
It's okay. But moving on to 2023 for the Walt Disney Company and Walt Disney Studios, we have the Marvels coming out on Disney Plus, which actually looks pretty interesting. Very interesting. We have the Haunted Mansion, which is I guess going to be a remake of the Eddie Murphy film, which I like the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion film.
Don't fuck up that movie, guys. Eddie Murphy was brilliant. Please don't fuck it up. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys were gonna hire Will Smith, but guess what? He's out of the picture now. So find someone else.
Yeah. You want to talk 2000? I'll be right back. You want to talk 2023 for just a second?
Yeah, sure. But honestly, guys, so with Haunted Mansion, like I'm sure, like, who do you think else is gonna be on there? Like, I can imagine, like, because Eddie Murphy is still like relatively like he's been out of the spotlight for a while, but he could totally go into whatever he wants to do with this stuff. Like he could totally be in the movie again, but I don't know how they would want to do that. But nevertheless, Guardians of the Galaxy 4 in 2003, I know nothing yet, but I do know that Chris Pratt's kind of going through a little bit of heat right now. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but I heard in a tweet or something like that, like James Gunn went public and he was like, if Chris Pratt goes, we all go. Like he's not going to replace Chris Pratt because I guess Chris Pratt's going through some shit. And to be honest, I vibe with that. I totally vibe with that because James Gunn went through the same shit that I'm sure Chris Pratt's going through, and then he got kicked out by Marvel, and he had to go on and do like I think Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad with DC. So nevertheless, but then he comes back, and now he's going to be directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So I mean, with that right there, like that was really bold of James Gunn to stand by Chris Pratt. And look, I'm sure whatever, I don't even know what the fuck Chris Pratt did, but I know people are calling for him to like not be in the movie or not be like in Guardians of the Galaxy. So, but it's good to know that like the studio or like the casting crew or like the director, like the whole entire movie crew stands by him because we need that type of shit. Because Jesus Christ, man, like I don't know what Chris Pratt did, but it can't be as bad as like Amber Heard. Just saying, like Jesus Christ. What else do we got? Indiana Jones, bro. I hope Harrison Ford still is able to move as much as he did in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If you guys remember Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, like you could tell Harrison Ford was old, but he was still knocking communists and Nazis all over the place. That show was fun, and I don't care what you guys think either. Shia LaBeouf was great in that movie. Shia LaBeouf and Indiana Jones, I did not like the fact that they were going to give Pass the Hat to him. I did not like that. But I thought Shia LaBeouf did a wonderful job in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I highly doubt Shia LaBeouf is going to be, hey, buddy, how you doing? I highly doubt.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh, my God.
Come inside. It's fun inside. What?
So we're talking about like Indiana Jones, this untitled Indiana Jones movie. So
it's Indiana Jones 5 though, right? Yeah, because isn't it like because Harrison Ford's hurt himself like 18 times. Feel me?
Oh, has he really? I fucking love that.
Yeah,
I was just talking. I was just talking
like,
to them about. I was just talking to them about like how like in Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, like you could tell that guy was like old and decrepit, but he was still punching commies and fucking Nazis all over the place.
Yeah, I mean I love me some Harrison Ford. Like I think Harrison Ford is one of the most iconic. He is one of the most iconic actors of all time. But he's gonna be his birthday is July 13th. What? What?
Just as soon as you tell me his age, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
His birthday's July 13th. When no, I'm wrong. Listen, because this is the 2023 slate. When Indiana Jones 5 comes out, Harrison Ford will be 81 years old. He'll be 81. Like, how? Like, I don't know. It's gonna. I'm curious what they'll do with the story. Because it's like, how do you? It's the same thing with like the Michael Myers, Laurie Strode thing. It's like, how long do you go? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if this has got to be the end, because it's like, how much longer do you go? I mean, is he really going to be 81 years old and just
punching
like
commies and Nazis?
Just beating people to holy hell, like on the top of a train?
I don't know,
like,
man.
You know,
this man is too old to be flying planes right now. If you guys haven't heard what he's been going through, but Jesus,
right?
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. And I love it. It's nothing against Harrison Ford. It's just,
neither.
I mean, anybody, anybody's got a limit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Did you talk Quantumania yet?
I have not talked Quantumania. I talked about Haunted Mansion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Indiana Jones.
Well, you got to get the Little Mermaid in there too, which honestly,
Bro, I could give less of a fuck about the Little Mermaid. I'm not gonna lie, that's why I didn't talk about it, because otherwise it'd have been me just doing this.
Well, you defended Lightyear like your life depended on it, so.
Bro, because that movie sounds dope. The Little Mermaid. What the fuck is it? Is it gonna be a live action? I could totally see
it's live action. That's their thing right now. They're doing all the live action.
Bro, they literally said like, "Yo, Avatar: The Way of the Water. Look at all this technology we have. What more can we do with it?" The Little Mermaid.
Well, bro, listen. The Walt Disney Company's got endless money. Like, it's like an infinite stream of money that they have to throw at projects. So I mean, duh.
I guess. But you know, but is Bob's Burgers really under Walt Disney Studios? How did that work?
I don't know, but it did. So another big Marvel project that's coming up is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and kind of one of the big questions is that with that movie is this whole thing with Kang, because we kind of got. We got a variant of Kang at the end of Loki season 1, but it wasn't Loki that we know. You know what I mean? It wasn't the Kang we know from the comic books. It was it was a different version of Kang. So hopefully we actually get the blue, like actual comic accurate looking Kang. You know what I mean? Because I think Kang is a really cool villain, and honestly, I would say he has the potential to be the next big bad. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it'll be like a stink in your foot, always around.
I mean, like, do you think he'll be like an Ultron, or is he going to be like the next Thanos?
He'll probably be like another Ultron, I could say.
So who do you think is the next? Honestly, it's probably going to be Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is probably the next Thanos, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but I still don't see how he's tied into any of this. So,
well, yeah, I mean, bro, we got 10 years. What are you talking about? The world is your oyster if you're Kevin Feige.
I mean, yeah, at this point, this is like, again, the time to build, I guess. This is like their building time. So this is their bulking season.
I know, right? And if you remember, like, there was an Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I believe it was a T-shirt or something that was leaked, and it's the shattered Ant-Man helmet with Kang, like comic book accurate Kang's reflection in the in like the glass of the helmet, which is pretty dope. So I am excited for Quantumania. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a cool one, and I think it's gonna kind of have a little bit of multiverse of madness to it, where it's gonna be a little wild. That's the thing about.
I mean, we're just entering multiverses. That's it. We're just entering.
But that's the thing about the multiverse, though, is like there's literally like when it's said and done, this is gonna be a fun saga. You know what I mean? Like the Infinity Saga. What made the Infinity Saga so amazing was that.
It took you to different worlds.
Well, it took you to different worlds, and it was very, like, it felt whole. Like, by the time Endgame and, like, Infinity War and Endgame happened, it felt like, wow, this is a payoff. But I think this Multiverse Saga, if that's really what they end up calling it, is going to be interesting and pretty cool, because it's like, look at how many, by this time it's said and done, you're like, wow, look at all the different possibilities we got to see. You know what I mean? Like, look at everything that we got in this saga.
Yeah. I think this saga that we're gonna get is gonna be so massive, because not only are we going to get because we already got because the different places that we can go right now, the places that are already teased, so to speak, we have the the Illuminati's universe, we have that vast area of multiverses that we have with fucking
Doctor
Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. We also have the Quantum Realm that's going to be coming up. We have what came out in the recent episode of Moon Knight, where they're in I forgot what it's called, like the Ennead or something like that, like the Egyptian underworld. We're there, and then they talked about the ancestral plane. We're also going to be talking about Mount Olympus. So we're going everywhere right now. This place is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
To the point where it's all going to have to come crashing down.
We are going to go there, man. So, we're just going to get a little teach again. This comes to us from the Illuminati, really great site. Just kind of a little bit of a recap of the Walt Disney Company and what they presented at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. So, tweet here back at CinemaCon 2022 for day 3. This is all of the Disney updates and kind of what we had going on. In between the sizzle reel for Lightyear. In between the sizzle reel and Lightyear came Marvel Studios. President of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, was in person to present the first 20 minutes of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The opening covers the introduction of America Chavez, a familiar octopus-like eyeball creature, which is Gargantos/Sumagorath. We don't really know which one. And how Wanda/Scarlet Witch gets brought into the whole situation. Also, within the early minutes of the film, there are 2 big fight sequences. Unfortunately, Jeff doesn't mention anything about any Marvel projects. Jeff? Does he mean Kevin?
I don't know who Jeff is. Who's Jeff in the studios?
Am I missing something? Oh, Jeffrey Harris. Never mind.
There it is.
Jeffrey Harris. That's what I'm. Jeffrey Harris talking about the dude from, from the Illuminati. I skipped over part of it. I apologize about that. They were hoping for more for Thor: Love and Thunder and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but we didn't get that. So 20th Century, who is also owned by Denny, had the 20th Century had the biggest presence of all the Disney subsidiaries. They opened up with Bob's Burgers, sharing that the opening sequence they did at WonderCon 2022. Other than that, there wasn't much covered about the film. Fortunately, we were able to do a number of exclusive interviews with the cast and the creators of Bob's Burgers. So we have plenty of information about the film to share with you. Plus, we have John Roberts yelling prostitution whore at H. John Benjamin, which you will not find anywhere else. There's your famous blue people, Miguel.
Dang, these Smurfs got older.
I know, right? But the best and really only new thing was saved for last, with a message from James Cameron and the future of the Avatar franchise. Producer June Landau was at CinemaCon and presented those in attendance with an exclusive teaser trailer that will release next week with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Landau also announced that the original Avatar would re-release in theaters on September 23rd, 2022, ahead of the first 4 episodes. The first 4 sequels, The Way of Water, so 4 sequels, releasing on December 16th, 2022. Movies do appear to be back, and Disney appears to take cinema to new heights with these incredible films slated later for this year. Beginning next week, they open up the multiverse with Doctor Strange, and then coming back immediately with Lightyear and Thor: Love and Thunder, then also closing out the year with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which we have still heard virtually nothing about. I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water. It will be more than likely be a multi-billion-dollar year. Oh, for sure. Disney is going to rack in bank this year.
Yeah, because they got a shit ton of back taxes to worry about now that they're not a self-governing
across all its subsidiaries, with sequels to $2 billion movies coming out this year. We'll have to wait and see, but the excitement just keeps building. Now, by the way, listen, and if you're not a Florida person, you may not this may not matter to you, or you may not get it. But let me tell you something, man. Who was telling me this? Somebody was telling, it might have been my mother-in-law, was telling me that, because you have to think, like, if you've ever been to Disney World in Orlando, it's so big. Like, Disney has its own zip code. They have their own water. They have their own fire department. Like, it's literally its own town. It's its own city. Like, there's Orlando, and then there's Disney. Disney World is its own. It's literally like its own world. But I think I don't know if it was the Florida governor, but that's been like taken away from them.
Fucking DeSantis.
So basically, it's literally like Disney is now a part of Orlando, but people in Florida are going to be paying taxes for Disney now. Like it's going to be like it's going to be crazy, man. Like I think it's going to be a lot bigger of a deal. Like Disney. People didn't have to pay taxes on Disney stuff because Disney was its own. Disney funded their own stuff. It was their own fire department. It was their own water. It was their own electric.
So
like it
pretty
was everything.
Much, Disney's gonna start paying taxes. So your $12 cup of Coke is now gonna be $24, so they can accommodate for the taxes they have to pay. Pretty much.
Fair.
Like prices are just gonna go up at that point.
I don't know. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
But there were reports of Texas saying, "Hey, Florida don't want you. Come over here. We got.
They're not going to move Disney World.
We got plenty of land right here.
They're not going to move Disney World. There's no way. There's no way. And if they do, I'll be hurt forever. The Florida boy in me will be hurt forever. Just saying.
Yeah. Then it'll just be a bunch of. Never mind. It'll just be a bunch of Florida man just wreaking havoc.
Fair.
Yeah.
And one thing we kind of I forgot to mention this. We also got a new synopsis of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which reads, "Now that Iron Man and Captain America have left after a fierce battle in Avengers Endgame, former genius..."
Bro, they bit the bullet. They died.
I know, right? I thought that too. I was like, they died. Former genius surgeon and the strongest magician of them all, Doctor Strange is expected to play an active role as a central figure in the Avengers. However, using his magic to manipulate time and space at will with a forbidden spell that is considered the most dangerous, that has opened the door to a mysterious madness called the multiverse, which of course he's talking about the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. To restore a world where everything is changing, Strange needs help from his ally Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, and the Avengers' most powerful Scarlet Witch, Wanda. I would also like to add, it is the only Scarlet Witch in the Avengers. But a terrible threat looms over humanity in the entire universe that no longer can be done by their power alone. Even more surprisingly, the greatest threat in the universe looks exactly like Doctor Strange. That's a cool synopsis. I like that.
Sounds mid.
What do you mean mid? What does that mean? Is that like a term that I don't understand?
It just says average. That's all it means. Average.
Literally just means average. Why not just say average? I don't know.
Because, bro, we live in 2022, son. Get with the times, boomer. No, I'm kidding.
Well, whatever. The teacher in me is showing. So, final story of the night, coming to us from Collider. Again, something that kind of came out about the MCU at CinemaCon that was a little bit of a big deal. Kevin Feige revealed that they're planning the next 10 years of the MCU at a retreat. Can we just take a minute and look at that picture?
There's a whole lot of the same people.
Can we just look at that picture and look at how glorious it is? That is glorious.
Like I said, this place is fucking massive.
It really is, bro. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. That is a gorgeous picture. Like, that's a background right there, you know? Insane, man. Crazy.
Yeah. It's like a desktop background.
So, final story of the night. CinemaCon is in full swing, and there have been a ton of huge announcements so far. Disney took the stage on Wednesday, which CinemaCon's not in swing anymore, but you get the idea. And while there were some nice updates on big franchises like Avatar, everyone is clamoring to know what the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe holds. Disney mostly stayed. This dick.
There's Lefty, and then there's Disney.
Disney mostly stayed focused on the upcoming releases like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder, but MCU Godfather producer Kevin Feige teased that planning for the future of this iconic cinematic universe is on the horizon. Feige specifically told the audience that he will be heading to a Marvel Studios retreat directly after CinemaCon to work on the next 10 years of the MCU. That's not much to go off of, but it's just enough to get any fan of this epic franchise theorizing.
Where is the retreat gonna be?
I picture like a ton of writers sitting like on a beach in like Bora Bora, just sipping like
because you can't
coladas, and they're just like,
you can't do that though, because people will be listening in, bro. All the insiders, all the reporters are gonna follow these motherfuckers, trying to figure out any type of fucking thing that they could
probably
get.
Top secret. Nobody knows where they're going.
That's what I mean, like, bro.
Disney's probably got security on them right now.
All I'm saying is, like, all the writers are like, oh, that's great. We're going to go on a retreat. Where are we going to go? The South Pole.
We're going to Antarctica.
We're going to Antarctica. Right. Bundle up. It's a retreat. I didn't say it was going to be fun. I didn't say it was going to be warm.
We're here to do a job, okay? It's not a vacation.
Yeah.
Right now, the MCU is in its most ambitious phase yet, dealing with the multiverse. Spider-Man No Way Home was a full circle moment, not just for longtime fans of the franchise, but for Feige himself. Feige started out his historic career as an associate producer on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and helped to produce that entire trilogy before making what would become the MCU. No Way Home reunited Feige with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and the Multiverse of Madness will see that the producer reunite with Raimi. These last few years have been huge for Marvel, and it's only going to get bigger with the upcoming releases like Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which I would like to point out once again, we know literally nothing about. Nothing.
Jack shit.
Basically a rumor. Listen, the two things we know is like the rumor that Namor is supposed to be in it, and that it's a complete mess. That's pretty much what we know about.
The only other rumor we got,
about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which we talked about earlier, the Marvels, and Blade. Which again, that Blade's going to be a cool one. I'm excited for what they do with Blade. On top of that, the MCU will also continue expanding with the new Disney Plus series like Loki, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Echo, Ironheart, Iron Wars, and What If Season 2. What the next 10 years look like after that is anyone's guess. What could possibly be more exciting and grander than the multiverse? Thankfully, that's not our job to figure out, although any Marvel fan could only dream of being part of this retreat. So, and that's kind of the big question of a lot of things is like, where do you go? Like, if we really lead to, like, we built to Infinity War and Endgame, and if we build to Secret Wars, like, where do you go after Secret Wars? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do after that? And again, I'm glad that's not my job to figure out.
Right.
I'm glad there'll be a group of guys drinking beers and tripping on LSD in Antarctica doing that. I'm kidding. They'll be somewhere at some undisclosed location, figuring that out. But there's CinemaCon, man. Lots of things. Halloween ends. I keep doing that. Halloween ends. Tons of films, tons of reveals. There's no way we could have gotten through everything, but there's a lot of good things going on. It makes me very happy, and last year, when we covered CinemaCon in one of our earlier episodes, it's like episode, like it was in like the 20s or 30s, I think, when we covered last year's CinemaCon. Movies were in a very different place, with COVID, and everything was still uncertain, and it was like things were starting to ramp back up, and we're in a very good place. I mean, I feel even with streaming kind of being the new normal, and things heading to HBO Max same day, and with Disney Plus, with all the different streaming services, like I feel good about where movies are headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree too.
And even hearing like what the Universal execs were saying about like, at the end of the day, people are always going to want to see things on the big screen, like that's always going to be a big deal to people. And I know like excuse me, like to people like us, that's always going to be a big deal, you know, to be able to see those stories on the big screen. So 2 hours in, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on our 70th episode. This has been a pretty big one, talking about a whole bunch of different movie news from CinemaCon 2022. Again, Marvel Studios reveals Halloween Ends, Warner Brothers and DC, Avatar and the Walt Disney Company, Universal, whole lots of things that we talked about. Please be sure to join us this Saturday for episode number 12 of Purely and Simply Evil. That is our horror show where we go and take deep dives into classic horror films. And this Saturday, we are checking out A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Miguel's going to tear it apart. I'm going to build it up because that's what we do. I'm kidding. That'll be a really fun discussion. So please join us at 10 a.m. Eastern. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at We Talk the Movies. You all are the best. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave this video a like and consider subscribing to our channel. I don't say that enough. But you guys are amazing, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
We just said see you soon like 18 times. So
yeah. So see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.